Coming to you live from the Poison Point studio, it's Neo!
Greetings, my esteemed watchers, and welcome. Oh, well, I guess nothing's working today, huh? Some things happen in the weirdest ways, I swear. Well, hello, Ellie. And yes, you are correct. Nobody actually redeemed the first, surprisingly. Usually it's a coveted thing. But regardless, here we are today. Let me get some music going. Today's been a little bit of scuff. I woke up very late, and I'm tired, and it's rainy, so we have all of the strange experiences going on. But we're here, regardless. Also, my phone died, so yeah, it'll die again during the stream, guaranteed. Unfortunate, but that's the life we lead, and what a life to live. Is the music coming through okay? Nothing too loud? And when I say too loud, I mean like just barely audible. That's perfect, right? Regardless, welcome on in, and I appreciate you all being here this evening. All of the scuff, it happens though. Hope you good? Thank you. I am doing perfectly fine. Well balanced, perfect. That's all we need at the end of the day. Well, for those that don't know, I'm Irisu, and today I'm doing an interview talk show with the one and only Nixie. But before we introduce her, there's some things I have to get through today, just to make sure we're all caught up on the same page. First of all, I seem to have noticed someone's been messing with my things again, and I hope that none of you have listened to anything that's been put up on screen. I made especially sure that Daphne knew exactly what she was meant to do, and she's working her hardest, but I might have to step in from time to time just to see if I can help out. But aside from that, did you know that we have a Discord that you can join? I try my best to talk as much as possible in there and just to, keep the flowing conversations as much as possible. Though lately I've been a little sick and under the weather, so catching back up has been a little rough. Oh, thank you for the follow, Nixie. I didn't even see that because, for whatever reason, follow alerts don't work with StreamerBot. Whatever it is. They work with subscriptions, but whatever. I just realized that my microphone was very low. Do I sound louder? I probably sound much louder, so if you have to turn me down, I apologize. For whatever reason, my volume was very low. I don't know why that was. Sorry. Much louder, but it's not bad, right? Not bad. We're going through the scuff, the motions. Also, if you haven't already, follow me on my socials at Irisu. There they are. I upload on YouTube and TikTok, ish. TikTok has been the one that's been my mortal enemy, and I'm trying to get a little bit better about that. Yeah, it needs to be that loud because, well, my guest is that loud. It's as loud. They're as loud as me, so it needs to be that way. Otherwise, everything fucks up and is weird. Speaking of fucked up and weird, the OBS program is very strange. It has not been saving my settings. Whenever I go and change a scene, it will randomly undo whatever I did, which is why after the welcome screen, it specifically was already light and bright, even though I had it set up to not do that. I'll probably have to go through and make sure that I have it like automatically done for me, off scene, basically. Whenever I hit that redeem button, the exclamation point redeems to start my streams up. But oh well, that's totally fine. It is what it is. We can't win them all. Scuff is scuff, and it takes over all of our bodies. There's not a lot we can do about it. Hello, PK. Welcome on in. It's a pleasure to see you here this evening. Oh, and Silver. Oh, everyone's showing up. All late to the party, it seems. One rainy day, and you're late to see me. It's okay. I don't blame you. We do our best here at the Poison Point Suite, but listen, it is early, and the bar isn't quite open. It's just this suite today. I'm heading out pretty soon, but I wanted to say hi and wish you and Nixie a good interview. I appreciate it, PK. I hope you have a great day. Oh, that's right. Your college is starting up again here soon, right? It's not already started again, is it? Or are you doing other things today? Regardless, my apologies. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope school doesn't kill you. Oh, you're back on the 1st. Okay. Well, you have a little bit of time, a little bit less than a week. You'll be okay. You got this. I believe in you. All right. I believe that is enough dallying. There are movable forces, unstoppable objects, and scuff that swirlies the two during lunch. Big meanie. Yes, this is true. A little more time to panic. Yeah, you have plenty of time to gather all of your materials and everything you need. Hopefully. Okay, without further ado, I think it's about time that we get on with the festivities. We have royalty waiting for us, after all, so let's do this. Oh, well, that's awkward.
Surprised the planet didn't make me crash land. Safest PNF 404 landing.
How do you like your eggs? Serious answer? Omelet. The fart sound effect right when he got hit. Oh my god.
I jumped a bit too early there. I'm glad I didn't fuck it up. Fuck! I spoke too soon.
Introducing our guest for this evening. It's the one and only Nixie. Are you there, Nixie? Can you hear me? Or did I miss
hello?
something? Oh, hello.
Can you hear me? Is everything good?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
You can hear me well? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Something weird happened while I was away, like when I was deafened, and I was worried that it was something with the audio, but we should be fine. At least I hope so. How are you doing this evening, Nixie?
I'm doing good. I heard you say you were a little tired, and I'm a little tired too. So
at least the vibes.
I'm good.
The vibes will be at a similar level today, and we can chill and relax.
True.
Well, I hope that the journey here wasn't too difficult. I understand that, well, you come from a place that's a little bit different from everybody else. But before we get into that, Nixie, I have a question for you.
Yes.
All right. Last week, I had the pleasure of interviewing with Leishroom. And at the very end of our interview, Leishroom imparted a question onto you, which was, what do you say, or what would you say, is the most popular aspects of your model? And then, with a follow-up to that, what is your favorite part of your model?
I would say the most popular aspects of my model are probably the assets.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Oh, wow. I know what you mean.
Because I remember when I showed off the model for the first time, everyone was like, oh my god. Because, like, I don't know, previously I'd been using, like, very, like, cutesy, I guess, models. And with, like, this, like, new design, this, like, redesign, I wanted to go for a more, like, I don't know, like, mature adult look. So I think that was the thing that, like, stood out to most people and people kind of remember it for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what would you say is your favorite part?
Just the theming. I like the just like the more relaxed look, and just the gold and the pink and purple. I love the colors.
Okay. You enjoy the colorful aspects. It speaks to you as a part of you and your design.
Yes.
Okay.
And I like just Egyptian theming, because obvious.
Of course. Now, I have to know, out of curiosity, because this is a question that I love to ask, where people came from. So, why did you become a VTuber? How did you get from where you were to where we see you today?
So I started streaming back in like 2016, and I would just like stream on and off. I wasn't like consistent with it. I would just stream like maybe like once a month sometimes, whenever. And I just kept over time just streaming more and more. I would use like my actual face a lot. But then I found out like 2017, 2018, I found out like face rig. because that was like the software back then for like VTubing. And I just started experimenting using that on stream, and then in 2020 VTubers started blowing up a lot, and I was like, oh, maybe I could like just have my own thing going on, have my own character. So I talked to one of my friends who's an artist, and he kind of collaborated on a design for me, and that's how I became a VTuber. And I've just been more passionate about streaming since I became a VTuber, and it's just been more comfortable for me. And yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
Okay. So, would you say that being a VTuber has helped you feel more comfortable? Oh, why am I face tracking stuff? Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Oh my god. It's made you more comfortable as you've done it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. What type of content do you like to create? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, on stream, I mainly just play games, and I'm a VTuber on stream, like exclusively. But I've also been dabbling in doing like editing for like other streamers, and sometimes I do cosplay content on my Twitter, and I don't know, I just like, so I do show myself sometimes, but streaming wise, I mainly just keep it like gaming and VTubing.
Okay. And I also saw on Twitter that you're a part of a group of a few others.
Yes.
What is your group called?
My group's called UE Live, and it started out as just like a group to kind of just recruit a bunch of like LGBT friendly streamers. And we have collabed a lot together, and they've done a lot for me over the past year or so. They have a website and a Twitter account. If you want to check it out, learn more. We're still very small. We're still trying to grow, but I don't know. We're figuring things out.
I will pull them up really fast so I can put the link in chat here. Perfect. And I am curious, Nixie, where did you come up with your name? Where does NixieHime come from? I mean, I can guess where the Hime part is, but Nixie for you.
So Nixie comes from a nickname that my close friends call me, like in real life. And so I don't know, I started using that online for everything like 10 years ago. And it's just been my name online since. And the Hime comes from princess. But I also like, at the time I was a really big fan of the character Pearl from Splatoon, and her Japanese name is Hime. So I was like, oh, Hime.
Okay, so that's more dual for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just kind of made it my own thing over time, so.
Yeah. The Nixie lore, the Nixie name lore. So I am curious, because you are an Egyptian princess VTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the idea for this design come from? Like, where did you come up with that theming for yourself?
So I was talking to a friend on Discord one day, and they were talking to me about how they were like creating like they were creating like OCs like of their friends, just like based on, I guess, like just their personality and their interests. And they offered to make one for me, and I told them just like some stuff that I liked in character designs, and then they kind of put it together. But it was still like kind of, and it kind of like had like an Egyptian theme to it, and I was like, oh, I love Egyptian things, so that's perfect. And but it still didn't really look like the character I have now. It just kind of had like the basic like building blocks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to another friend who's a close friend of mine who's like a really good artist, and I was like, hey, can we make like a design, because I was like trying to become a VTuber more and more at that point. So I was like, can we just like kind of take this design that my friend drew and just collaborate to make like a more memorable like VTuber design? And we just kind of went from there.
Okay. And Nixie was born, the what we
Yes.
see in front of us.
This is like the third free design of my model, though. The first design is very different. Every design is very different. The first design had like a hood, had like a hoodie and like a sweatshirt, jacket, and wore shorts. And the second design's more like princessy with like a headdress thing and like a skirt. And this one's more just casual.
It's got the a little bit of the in between. It's an Ankh, right?
Yes.
I always want to say Anka because of the Animal Crossing character.
Animal Crossing, yeah.
But I can definitely see the mixture of the designs together. Would you say that this is one of your favorite, though, out of the three?
It's hard to choose between the three of them, but I do like this one a lot right now, but that's probably just recency. I think all of them are so good. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you swap in between them on stream, or like one stream you decide to go back to the other one, or do you keep this one pretty consistent?
No, I keep this one. My goal is to just keep like iterating on designs and stuff, and just like work with artists to like keep iterating on my design and come up with like new like facets of the character, I guess, because I just want to like explore different like, I don't know. I'm also just a stickler for like just fashion, so I just want to experiment, I guess.
That is entirely fair. I can see where you're coming from on that. Is there anything that you have been working on? Maybe ideas with artists, or any special events that you may have that you might be willing to share with us today?
Don't know about special events. I might do, because my first year anniversary of my debut is coming up.
Oh,
I think next month. So I might do something for that. I'll definitely say something on Twitter if I end up doing something for it. But I am working on like getting stuff done for a mascot character for my character, or like a pet type character.
okay.
So there's that. So look forward to that. I'll be revealing that soon, or soonish.
I'm excited to see it. Basically, a lot of us have been going through like this this mascot or pet arc where we add a little friend to the stream, and I'm glad to see more people embracing this, because, well, I think it adds an extra layer, a little bit of lore to yourself that you get to express a part of yourself with.
Yeah, who doesn't want like a cute little mascot character? Who doesn't want like a little guy? Like a little guy.
Yeah, a little fella, and then you slap on a TTS, and all of a sudden, everyone's terrified of this little creature.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that. That's funny.
So, if you weren't an Egyptian princess, what type of VTuber would you have been instead?
I feel like, I don't know. I've seen those like VTubers. They're very rare, but ones that are like an animal and then they're being like held in like someone's arms, and their like equivalent of like a pet is like they're like human. And I think it would just be fun to like have that like dynamic, I guess, like to be like the little guy.
Okay, so you want to be just the master that is small.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'd be funny. Just something more like different. I definitely like try to be a little bit more different, just out there.
Mm-hmm. One VTuber that comes to mind is Marrow Mage, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, he has a little hamster in his eye. He's a skeleton, and the hamster is the master of the model.
Yeah, I think that stuff is so smart and funny, and it just, I don't know, it makes you just so much more interesting just just from the get-go. People see it and they're just like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh my god, I can't believe you followed me this stream. And now I'm following you on this stream as we go.
I just forget sometimes. I don't know. I'll like interact with the VTuber for like months, and then I'll be like, shit, I completely forgot to follow them.
Yeah, for me, the follow button is just like it's like I've already followed people in my brain. I'm always there anyways, but
Yeah. Especially if you're always talking to them, like on Discord or something. Like,
yeah,
forget.
even prepping for these streams, it's difficult to remember to do that. Again, scuff happens, and that's always one thing I forget, and I get to embarrass myself by following you or the interviewee on stream. Now, that does beg the question. I'm curious what you think about this. Do you think that design is everything when it comes to a VTuber? Like, when you put yourselves in the shoes, or even if you just go to somebody else's stream, what is the first thing you look for in the case of if you follow them?
I don't think design's like everything, but it definitely helps because when you first join like a VTuber stream, their design is just the first thing that you see. So if you click on a VTuber stream and the first thing you see is just something that you just don't want to look at, like why would you stay? I guess is the point. But like technically speaking, the design's like half of it. Like a VTuber can have a great design. I know so many VTubers have amazing designs, but like their personality is just not for me, so I just really don't stick around. Like I'll find out about them because I'll see their designs and I'll be like, oh, they're awesome, let me check them out, and then they just are really like, I guess, like nothing against VTubers that are like this, but just super like lewd and very like open about like sexual themes, I guess, and that's just kind of not really like my thing. So I don't know, it's just stuff like that, I guess.
Okay, so for the most part, you do agree. It is a 50-50, but the personality for you is a big part of it. Like, you look at a design and you're like, wow, I really like this, but then the first words out of their mouth are some of the most heinous things you've ever heard, and you're like, all right, I'm out of here.
Yeah, like I'll go to their stream and they'll just start talking about the most like I don't know, just the most degenerate things ever, and then I'm like, oh god, I'm not gonna be here anymore.
Okay, I see. Or I guess for me, what really throws me off is like when you come into a stream and they're very, very quiet. Not that they're not speaking loud. It's just they aren't talking. And it's been like 5 minutes and you're waiting for their voice to come out. Nope, they haven't said a single word.
Yeah, that too. Like, if I join a stream, and this is like a lot of people on Twitch, like I like to browse like the small VTuber streams because I prefer watching smaller streamers. But if I join a stream and they're like a small streamer with like 2 or 3 viewers, and I'll watch them and I'm like, their model is so good. They clearly put so much effort into their stream setup, but then I'll just be watching them and they'll go like 5 to 10 minutes without saying anything, and I'm like, oh well, what's the point of streaming if you're just not gonna like comment on anything or even read the chat that often when there are people? Or a big part is just not even like thanking someone for following.
Oh yeah. Like I had somebody tell me once. Oh, thank you for the head pats. I had somebody tell me once that you have to be talking at least every 7 seconds, and I think that's a little ridiculous. Like, that's a little much, at least for me personally, because I'm not a big bombarder of words. But
me neither.
At least generate some conversation every minute or whenever you're thinking about it. If there's something intense happening in the game, sure, whatever, that's fine. But you gotta find a way to fill that dead time. You gotta have topics that are going, and at the very least, like, redeems something that keeps your chat entertained while you're doing those extracurricular things. I don't know. a couple
Yeah,
of
I've been-
seconds every minute is reasonable if it's a slow day. Yeah, you're a
I've been
streamer.
to streams where they just don't thank people for following, and then I'll jump into the chat and I'll be like hi, and then they'll be like, and then they'll just say hi Nixie, and it's just the end of that. Like, I don't know. I feel like when you join a stream, you should, if someone you've never seen before joins the stream, just be a little bit more like, how's your day? Like, how are you? It's the first time I've seen you. Like, how are you? Like, what's up?
Yeah. It's like what you said. Being a streamer is communicating with your audience. If you wanted to just sit there and do whatever, that is up to you. I feel like it's those types of people, though. This is very broad, and this is not everybody. But I feel like it's those types of people that complain that they're not gaining traction or popularity, or that people aren't watching them. I see it a lot. I follow so many people. I see so much of that stuff. And sometimes it's just a simple take a step forward and talk a little bit more and be personal with your viewers. That's all it takes. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't be too personal.
Like, I definitely used to be like super. I watch those kinds of streamers, and I'm like, oh man, I used to be like that. Like when I first started out, like I would literally just stream for like an hour and a half, because that's usually the longest I could go for back then, without getting like super tired, and I just wouldn't say a word. Like I would talk for like 10 minutes, and then the rest of the stream I just wouldn't say anything.
Yeah. It also can be very hard when you have a slow chat. Like, people are lurking, but sometimes, no chat is happening and you're just sitting there like, okay, what do I say? What do I do next? And that's where the masterful art of going crazy and speaking to yourself, holding your own conversation, works wonders.
Yeah. Just like talking to yourself or making jokes, or just being like, hey, that reminds me of this thing from this other game. Like, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, it's the small things that can keep a stream going very, very well and efficiently. I don't know. It's not rocket science, but there is some practice that does go in.
A lot of practice. I didn't even realize how much practice was how much like practice and experience and just being more like, it's a weird thing, but like being more like extroverted, but like in like a stream sense. Like you're still inside on a computer, but like, I don't know, you gotta be more like willing to just put yourself out there and bring up experiences and just kind of say how you feel, just that kind of stuff.
Yeah. A lot of people will tell you that being a VTuber is still being yourself, that you shouldn't put on an act. But in my experience and what I've learned, it's really important to kind of take your personality and just push the dial up just a little bit. Be a little bit more active with yourself, because, sometimes, like you said, the introversion can really get to you. It is difficult to like work yourself up to talking to people that you don't know. But when you remember that nobody's there physically right next to you, they're on the other side of the screen, and you don't got to worry about them. Like, they're going to do their own thing. If they're weird, ban them, whatever. You have the power. Be confident in yourself, and it will show, like, fully.
Yeah. If people see that you're having fun just doing your thing, then they'll have fun too. That's just how that works.
I try to talk often, but if it's a really slow day and chat doesn't respond or react for hours, I take some psychic damage and it piles up. Yeah,
I get
hard.
that completely.
It is very hard. Nobody said streaming was easy, and if anybody told you that it was, it really isn't. And VTubing is just as hard as being a flesh tuber. You are still conscious of what your model does if it moves, or your little extra things that you do if you're a PNG or anywhere in between. It's hard, very hard, and not a lot of people give that credit or give anybody credit for how difficult it is sometimes. For me, the hardest part, and I am really bad about this. I can do a whole stream, right? I can go all the way through. I'm introverted as all hell, and I can still run these. But I have a hard time going back and getting clips because I don't feel like I contributed enough.
Well, I get that so much. Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to, when I'm doing these, to bring on a guest clip, but, you know, what if I said something that I like go back and I listen to and I'm like, that wasn't really clip worthy for myself. Forget about it. I just worry because at that point it's not me, it's my guest, and I understand that that's fine, but I want to put forth my personality too at the same time. But you know, that's something else for another time. Moving right along though, Nixie, when you get off work or whatever you do during the day and you come onto your computer and you're getting ready for stream or you're just ready to chat with your friends, what does it mean for you to be NixieHime?
Well, that's tough. Just talking, you mean like just talking with friends or just in general, like logging on to like Twitter or like just going into like my server?
I would say it's more of like you're getting ready to become your VTuber. You know, as little or as much as you do, what does it mean to you to be your VTuber? Like, what impact has it had on you?
Oh, it's such a tough question.
Oh yes, I love
it. Just having people want to just interact with me in general, like on Twitter or even in like other people's like Discord servers or other Twitch streams, just that means the world to me. Being NixieHime has like dramatically improved my life since I've become a streamer, like a more consistent streamer. I would be lying if I said I didn't like some of like the extra attention, but that's not why I do it. I just like to just make people be happy and just be a source of entertainment for people. I don't know. I could probably, like, if I had more, if this wasn't so impromptu, I could definitely come up with like a more like specific answer. But just, I don't know, being someone people could look to for just joy, whether it be for a short period of time or people who watch me consistently.
Okay, so
it's such a different vibe from like my normal life because I'm a very quiet person. I'm very like just sit in a room, put on some music, and just like browse Twitter or something kind of person when I'm like just by myself. But I don't know. It's I like having a more. I feel like I could be myself a bit more instead of just being like super introverted. I don't know. It helps.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you become your VTuber, at least you know you're on the other side of the screen and you're moving around. You do have a little bit of this mask on, right? That comfortability. Like when we were in the big COVID and you had to wear masks in public, you could make any face you want or lack thereof. Yes. And this is the same. So confidence is huge. Even if you're nervous about it, there's still like this buffer that you have. Like people will not have to look at me while I'm making these weird faces for my VTuber. Yeah. But okay. So as an influencer, you love being able to improve somebody's day, or even if it's just their that hour. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I see what you're going for, because you know that's kind of the dream, a little bit of the dream. Being able to improve somebody's life, even if it's only one person. At the very least, you know, you've put forth exactly what you've wanted to do. All right.
Yeah. I know it's kind of like a generic answer, like, oh, I just want to make people happy, but like, I don't know. I feel like these days it's just so life is just so chaotic now with just like information being thrown at you left and right, all these problems, like just all this politics. Like I try not to bring any of that into my streams, and I just want to like just play games, talk to people who are in my chat, make funny clips after the fact, and post on Twitter what I'm doing and funny thoughts and stuff. Just stuff I don't know. Just
Yeah. Put the brakes on life for a
be
second.
positive. And I've had so many people tell me like, "Hey, like you're always positive," and it really reminds me to stay positive because I'm like there are people who are like, I'm going through a lot right now, but just talking to you made me feel like I could be a bit more positive today. Just stuff like that, and it means a lot.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think we can all agree that sometimes the brakes on life are very important, or not life, but like the world, as you say, the information flow. Just pump the brakes on it, and let's be us for a minute. Be positive and relax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. I apologize if I say your name wrong. Wivu?
It's Waivu.
Waivu. Yeah. You impact a lot of people, even just doing your own thing, even if you're not ready for the stream in terms of you're tired, but you're going to do it. Passive. It's a passive buff. I think that's the best way I can put it. All right.
It's accurate.
So, onto the lore questions. And I need to specify this because I've added this question in and people get confused. For those that don't know, Nixie, where are you from? Not in real life, but if you're a VTuber.
So, my character is from a like fictional old, like it's from a fictional old video game that was never. So I'm gonna explain it.
Yeah, go for it.
So the gist of my lore is that my character Nixie was a like heroine princess of a long forgotten game that was never released to the public, and the game itself was like very based on like ancient Egyptian history, but it was like since it was like an old video game, it had like an anime aesthetic to it, like in like the art and stuff. And then one day someone like came across the remnants of this unreleased game, and they saw all the characters in it and like all like the unused stuff, and they were like, hey, I wanna make something of these characters. I wanna actually like put in the time to preserve these characters in a way that people would love. And so a team, including the person who found the game, began creating an artificial intelligence, aka me, that would be compatible, that would be good for my character, so I could live outside the game as like an AI. And not the bad kind of AI, though.
Yes, important distinction.
And so because they thought people would like this character, they uploaded the AI into the virtual world. But before that, they gave me an objective, and that was just to make people remember me by being myself and making them happy. And I have no memory of like when I was created. I just know my objective, and so now I became a VTuber because I figured that would be the easiest way to make people happy.
Okay. So you originate from a video game. Do you remember like what type of game it was?
It was an RPG type game.
And do you have any information about its name, or is that lost to you?
I don't have any information about like a lot of the game because I only remember that I'm from a game and that I am based on the Egyptian goddess Bastet.
Oh, so you are also technically a god or goddess in this case.
Yes, but mainly just like the concept for the character, not like in the game. In the game, I was a princess.
Okay. I just because I was about to say like last week or so we had an actual god, a deity on. So I was curious if we would have the opportunity for another chance at that.
No.
So Bastet, you said.
Yes.
What is Bastet the goddess of?
Bastet is the goddess of like protection and just overall like bringing good health, which fits into my objective.
Okay. And do you feel like at this point in time you've been fulfilling your objective that you've been given?
I feel like I have started to be on the right path. It's been difficult to get people to find me and like kind of figure out like who I am and what I want to do, but like a year into this whole thing, I'm feeling pretty I'm finally feeling pretty good about like being on the right path.
Okay, that's good to hear. The journey is the hardest part, I've found.
Yeah,
Would you
absolutely.
do you find yourself replicating some parts of Bastet's traits, like from the from what she does, or is it more of like visually you represent her?
Uh, it's definitely just visually
Okay.
for
I
now.
am for now. I see. Until you truly do ascend out of the artificial intelligence state that you're in.
Yes, I never know. I never know what's gonna happen next, so stuff can change.
And as far as the person who created you, do you know where they are now? Any information about them?
I don't know anything.
Hmm. I see. That does leave me curious. Do you have any questions that you might want to ask them that you would hope they would answer for you?
Um, I would love to know like where they found the game and also like how old it was and just who they are. I mean, I'd love to talk to them. I think it'd be a fun conversation to talk to my creator, but I don't know who they are. They're anonymous.
I see. And so you've been left to your own devices to figure out what to do next. And
Hmm.
aren't you worried that maybe, like, if you needed any repairs or something to help you, would you be able to do it yourself?
Nothing has broken so far, but I'm I'm kind of in the boat of I'll figure it out when the time comes, or someone else will hopefully figure it out.
Yeah, that is
Maybe there's
always the
some
hope.
divine intervention. I don't know.
And maybe Busted is looking after you.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, you never know.
I don't know.
And as an AI, you are aware you're a princess. So
Hmm.
in this virtual space, have you garnered yourself any loyal subjects?
Not quite yet, but at least I feel not quite yet. I guess I could consider my followers my loyal subjects, but I feel like that's just like I don't know. I don't want to impose like this implied power dynamic. Like I'm a princess, but like I don't want people to like feel like I'm like above them. I guess.
Okay,
But
a little humble.
yeah. But but I did find I did find a pet. I mean, I'll be able to show you guys in a little bit, but I did find someone to keep me company.
Okay. Someone that you can at least hold a conversation with while you're not online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I am curious, being also a cat girl, you have your cat-like features to you. Have you been granted any abilities that, aside from the AI part, anything that you physically have that you can accomplish because of your form?
Is liking catnip an ability? Is that a thing?
You, you know, sure, we could call that a special skill.
No. Basically, I don't know. I have the ears, I have the tail. I sleep like a normal person, I think. There may be some 3 a.m. zoomies, but it's okay. It's fine.
I mean, that happens to most people who are sleep deprived. Like that's only fair. If you fall, do you always find yourself landing on your feet?
I haven't really taken any large falls, but so far I have landed on my feet. So maybe there's that. Maybe that's just something I have yet to discover about myself.
We can put a pin on that one and test it for future.
We can test it.
Purposes.
I'll jump off from a high place tomorrow on stream. Be there. Let's test it. I'm kidding.
It could be off of like a pyramid or something. At the very least, you might slide on down. It'll be fine.
it'll be fine. I trust myself.
Yeah, the faith. After all, you are an AI, so technically, whatever you feel that you can do is theoretically possible.
Yes.
Speaking of theoretically, I do have a new segment that I've introduced to the channel called Hypothetical Theoretical.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. My graphic was a little late on there. And these questions are mostly submitted by people from my Discord, my friend group, whatever they feel the need to talk about a very specific bullshit question. These are rhetorical, so I hope you're ready for this one. I won't tell you who it is, just for a little bit of anonymity sake until after the question is answered. But okay. Let's just say, hypothetically, theoretically, there's this guy, this dude, right? And let's say he's at a restaurant ordering food. Oh wait, this guy is a duck. He's a duck. Anyways, this duck eats his meal, and when he goes to pay, he says, oh wait, was it a duck? Yeah, it definitely was a duck. He says to the waiter, hey, put it on my bill. Wait, no, I mean, he says when he goes to pay. What would you respond to the duck with?
This is so random. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
I'd be like, you mean like on your bill, or like on like your physical, or your like your actual like monetary bill?
I mean, that is the question. We don't know. Like,
that's what I'd ask for clarification, I guess.
Oh, from the duck, he probably would say his physical bill. Put the bill on his bill. Although that does beg the question as well. How is this duck talking? How does he pay for his food if he's a duck? Some of these.
At this point, I don't even question it. I'm like, I've seen. Maybe the duck's a VTuber.
Yeah, I've been around plenty of VTubers to understand. we can't trust everything in front of us.
I've seen many different creatures talk, so all
All
walks
right.
of life.
You've gone with the inclusive answer that it doesn't matter who this duck is, you will help him pay
I
for
will
his
put
bill.
it on his bill.
All right. Well, thank you for answering that question. That question specifically came from me. It is one of my favorite jokes from the TV show Chowder.
That's where it's from. I knew I heard it somewhere. I used to watch that show a lot when I was younger.
Yes, the duck and the bill thing with paying for their food is the longest joke in existence. That's whatever. I don't even know when that originated, but I think that the Chowder variant, where he messes it up at every turn, is the best way to provide that joke.
Oh, I remember that. That just like awakened memories in me. Yeah.
the nostalgia's there.
Yeah.
The sleeper agent in you is awoken. Chowder, something you need to do. I don't know.
I loved that show.
Well, thank you for dealing with my bullshit and that question, because it could be weird, it could be strange, but I think you answered it in a way that only you could answer.
I hope so.
Yeah, well
That's
then,
the vibe.
what say you? All right. I think this is a good place to take a short little break, grab some water, and get some things in our system, walk around, get the jitters out, especially after, you just paid, or you helped the duck pay their bill. This is a great opportunity for anybody in chat who has any questions for Nixie to, well, ask her, if you have any. And we'll be right back after the break.
Yes.
All right, everybody, we are back. Thank you all for waiting. And well, I see one question already from Silver. Yes, hello, Jackie. Welcome on back in.
Welcome in.
Silver would like to know, what is your favorite Fire Emblem game? And on top of that, who's your favorite character from that game?
I'm not excited to answer this question because you picked like the one video game series where like I have the most like unconventional answer for this question. Like,
Oh,
okay, so my favorite game in the series is Fire Emblem Fates,
okay.
which is like everyone's like unanimously against that game. People hate it. But I don't know. I liked it because it embraced. I feel like it was the last Fire Emblem game that like went all in on just being silly and just being like unabashedly itself. And I think that's why people don't like it, because it's kind of meanders and is kind of different. It has its own thing going on, and I don't know. I liked it because of that. And I just thought the characters are really silly and fun. And my favorite character from that game is Elise, because she is just adorable. And I don't know why, but I'm always like, Engage is kind of silly. Yeah, no, Engage is silly, but it's not like, I don't know. It's a different kind of silly. It's not.
Yeah. See,
I still
with
like
me,
Engage, though.
aside from Three Houses, because I also feel like Three Houses is kind of separate from a lot of Fire Emblems, just because of the way it was presented. It's like the next level, next to Engage. But like, if we had to separate them, like 3DS to Switch from the Wii all the way back, yada yada. Fates is actually one of my favorite games as well. So you're not alone.
Okay, good.
Many people think I'm crazy for that opinion. It is one of my favorites because of what you're allowed to do in that game. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like having an archer on a Pegasus is cool. I don't know if that was the first time they introduced that, but fuck it, I don't care. That's
Like, I don't know. I've heard people say like, "Oh, the game's just too like weird." Like, you can just when two characters have a baby, they get sent to the baby dimension where they grow up real fast, and people are like, "Oh, that's so weird." Like, what? And I'm like, no, I think that's funny. It's hilarious.
yeah. I mean,
Like, these two characters immediately have a baby, and they just get sent out to war like immediately. I think that's hilarious.
the baby dimension.
Baby, whatever. I don't know if it has a name. I don't remember, but
I mean, that's the name of it now. I mean, it sort of happens in like Dragon Ball, I guess, where like characters will train in the hyperbolic time chamber for 2 years, but it's only a day for them, and they're ready to fight the villain of the arc. It's not a new concept, I would say, but a lot of people don't like Fates because of, maybe this is just one person. I could be mixing this up. It's is it Camilla?
yes.
People think that she is just a weird character, like even beyond the fan service. It's just she's strange.
Yeah.
I didn't get that at all. I thought she was just eccentric and strange. Well, obviously, like a different type of strange that didn't really bother me. I thought it fit her character.
Yeah, no, like people hate on it because they're like, "Oh, Corin's a basic protagonist, Camilla's a weirdo, blah 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 blah." But like, I don't know. I think Corin is pretty basic. Like, I'm not a big Corin fan, but I don't necessarily play these games for like the in-depth characters, like the characters that just have like so like clear motivations and just like developed backstories and just interesting dialogue. I don't know. It has a lot of silly stuff going on that makes me laugh and happy, so I enjoy it. Like, that's just kind of my thing, I guess.
Yeah. More power to you if you like Fates. Fates has some cool characters, indeed.
It's like Fire Emblem is such a like every Fire Emblem game is like wacky if you think about it, but like they still try to be grounded, and it just comes off as silly most of the time. But like not like a haha funny silly. Just like, why are you trying to be so like trying to make commentaries on like on like war and stuff. If you're just a silly game about just fighting, just like for in Three Houses case, I guess like just a school
Yeah.
with like a bunch of like young like teenagers just fighting these like bandits and just like a church at one point, and I
And
don't know, it's just,
eventually
like,
themselves.
yeah, I don't know, like it's silly. Just embrace it, I guess.
Yeah, so some of it borders on cringe, just a touch.
A little bit.
It does remind me of the Pro ZD video making fun of Fire Emblem Three Houses, where he's like, "I love killing people. I'm 14. I love killing people." That's the basic gist of that. But my favorite character in Fates, I believe her name is Sakura. It's been a little bit.
I love Sakura too.
Sakura is such a bean, and she was one of my best units, surprisingly. Completely unintentionally. She was both a healer and the DPS. I don't know. They had some wacky combos in that game for classes, but it was a lot of fun. I like that it was more challenging than Awakening, because Awakening was baby bitch game. So easy to beat that game or fight anything because of the pairing system. So the fact that you had to be a little bit more strategic in the following game, but it wasn't impossibly difficult. It was a nice entry for me, at least. And the game that came after it, it was Shadow Dragon. I can't remember anymore.
Wait, the one looking after Awakening?
The one after Fates that released on the 3DS.
Oh, Shadows of Almia? No, that's a Pokemon game.
Yes. Is it Echoes?
Echoes, Shadows of Valentia.
Yeah,
Shadows of something.
Oh my god, no, everyone has forgotten the name of...
Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia. I think that's what it's called.
There we go. Everyone says that Valentia is good, like one of the best. And I didn't really see it when I played it. But that's me. I'm a contrarian. Please don't take that with like the opinion of the century. But
I didn't play it because it was too different, and it came out at a time where I wasn't really playing my 3DS too much anymore, so I skipped it.
Yeah, it was pretty much right at the end of the life cycle of the 3DS.
Yeah.
Buffy has a really great question. Space Buffoon does. What would your special move in a Smash type or fighting game be?
What do you mean special move? Like a ultimate, like a meter burn final Smash type move? Is that what you mean?
It might be a final Smash, but it could also be. Oh yeah, Buffy says like a final Smash, like your final finisher.
Oh man. Oh, that's tough.
And while you think about that, I'm going to swap off of my phone. I'm going to go full PNG because my phone did not survive the great transition.
Go full PNG. Okay, if I had to pick a final Smash type move, it would probably be just being able to just scratch, I feel like my fingers would just become claws, and I'll just be able to just scratch up everything at once, kind of like I'm trying to think of someone who has similar.
Who would be similar in that regard? Is it Felicia? Is that her name from Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yeah, or Misfortune from Skullgirls is another good one that has one like that.
Okay.
Yeah, a long scratch combo, kind of like Straight Ether. Yeah, kinda.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that it instant kills.
Or Misfortune's special from Skullgirls, where she just scratch combos you.
Okay, for some reason I had to re-log into this Fujitech app because we love technology here on the internet.
Oh, That's a good question. I never thought about that before.
Yeah, Buffy has some really good questions. You know,
Asking
PK
the real thought-provoking questions.
PK is not here, but I will ask a question on her regard, and I bubbles back, I promise. But PK always likes to ask the favorite ice cream and cookie flavor of the guest.
My favorite ice cream flavor that like you can just go to a store and get for me is probably either cookies and cream or like a coffee flavor. I really like coffee. I'm a big coffee fan. But near where I am, there's this ice cream place that has like peanut butter and Oreo flavor ice cream, and it's just my favorite. I get it every time I go, which is rarely, but I love
Okay.
peanut butter and chocolate. Good flavor.
Yeah, I would say that coffee is like top flavor for me.
I love coffee.
Coffee anything. If you hand me like coffee toffees, I don't even know. At this point, it's become so integral to living my life that the flavor is ingrained in my bloodstream at this point.
Love it. I'm glad we have so many coffee fans in the chat. No one I know typically likes coffee flavored ice cream, so
typically it's the people who don't like coffee, or like they don't. Yeah, like Silver doesn't like coffee in many capacities. HQ not either.
someone doesn't like coffee. I do get it though. Coffee is very like has such a specific type of flavor.
Yeah. When it comes to like the ice creams too, if people like the very, very bitter coffee, very acidic, then that does not translate into a dessert form because it's always sweet. There's always something sweet about that flavor. I have no shame. I need the caffeine.
Oh, I need the caffeine too.
Yeah, I feel you. A good secondary flavor for me, at least, is I always go for cookies and cream. Like that, it's always a toss up on which I like more at the time. If I see cookies and cream, I'm gonna go for it. If there's no coffee, so
Yeah, cookies and cream just makes me so happy. I don't know why. I'll have cookies and cream. I'll just be good the rest of the day.
it's Oreos, but in ice cream format, and that's all we need.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, Buffy does hate coffee, but they love coffee desserts, and I always thought that was interesting.
Well, coffee desserts are like typically have like more milk, like more like dairy products in them, so it's kind of like a more like muted taste.
Yeah,
More like milk, more milky. So I get it.
yeah, and that is valid. You know, I've worked as a pastry chef, a pantry chef, and I had to make a coffee dessert one time, and I was able to pull it up quite well. It was very sweet, it was both of that bitter flavor from coffee and sweet all the same, and it just worked perfectly.
That's awesome. I'd love to learn how to make that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if I remember, or if you remind me after this, I'll send you some recipes over, just in case you're
That'd
interested.
be awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds so good.
Um,
Thank you, Hezi.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Your design is very beautiful.
Thank you.
So one question I have for you, and by the way, for everyone who is stopping on by now, we are on the chat portion of question asking. The question I have for you is, if you could ask the next interviewee anything, what would you ask them? This is my traditional question.
I would. Okay, I wrote this down earlier. My question would be, if you could choose one Pokemon that would fit with your like VTuber aesthetic, which one would it be and why?
Okay. And thank you for writing that down. It does save me the awkwardness of typing it and not being able to speak, being completely
I'd forget
paralyzed.
I'd forget it otherwise. I'd have to. I would have been here thinking about it for like a minute.
That's fair. I'm gonna actually turn that question on to you. What one Pokemon would fit with your aesthetic, do you feel?
I feel like Espeon would fit with my aesthetic pretty
Yeah.
nicely.
I can see that. Definitely. Hezzy would be going with a Greninja.
Greninja.
For me, it would be Krogunk or... yeah, Krogunk, that's about it.
Yeah, Krogunk.
There's not a lot of Poison Dart Frog representation in Pokemon's, aside from Krogunk and Toxicroak, so...
At least there is representation.
Yeah, this is true.
It's a very specific type of representation, so it's neat that there is some.
HQ was saying that they could see Liepard, which...
Liepard, yeah.
Yeah, I could see it with your design as well. That's sort of what Liepard is based off of, right? The... maybe not. The Sphinxes. I
don't know. I've never... Liepard is Gen 5, I think. I think.
Yes. Yeah. Someone else probably knows if there is a Pokemon that fits the aesthetic. The evolution. Is it? Oh no, we're getting on to the topic of
Purloin.
We're getting on Pokemon. The chat's going to explode.
Purloin, but not when it stands on its hind legs, because then it's just creepy.
Oh goodness, they're just more intimidating that way.
No, it's like looks like it's gonna beat you up.
You know what? Power to Purloin in that case. I saw one and go and was like, huh? You're about to get mugged on the streets for real in real life.
I'm not a huge Pokemon fan anymore, but I don't know. I still like talking about it. So
yeah. Pokemon's always interesting, and
I like seeing what people's favorites are because I feel like it says a lot about them, just generally.
Mm-hmm. No, I meant Liepard. A Liepard attempts murder at the player in the new Pokemon Snap. Really? I mean,
I don't
Buffy,
remember that.
Buffy, you are terrified of Pokemon Snap, so...
I played the new Pokemon Snap, and I didn't really like it that much, but I don't remember... I remember Liepard. I remember Liepard in that game.
Okay. My next question out of the big three that I like to ask is, if you were a drink at the bar behind you, and it can be alcoholic or non-alcoholic, what kind of drink would you be, and what would you name yourself?
So I really like spicy drinks. I'm a big spicy drink fan. I like spicy stuff in general. So I said like a spicy like mango margarita. I like spicy and I like fruity flavor. So it'd be a spicy mango margarita, and I'd call it Spicy Hime Oasis.
Oh, I like that. I like that so much. You know, I've not really had the opportunity to drink any spicy drinks, and that's because I have really, really bad acid reflux when it comes to spice, and I love spicy things. I might have to go to a bar and get this like somewhat custom if they had mango and some way to spice it up. Definitely want to give this one a shot.
Yeah, I had a mango margarita once a while back, and I was like, "This is just so good." I don't know. I love fruity flavors so much.
Mm-hmm. And adding the spice onto it, it might just make it your perfect drink for yourself.
Yeah. And spicy fruity flavor, even better.
Well, yeah, there you go. Oh God, what is?
It just wakes me up.
You know, you're reminding me now, and not you like just talking about it, just in general. I have not actually answered this question for myself, and I don't know if I would be able to yet.
What's like your go-to drink?
See, the thing is like, if I'm going to go get a drink, I'm going to go to the store and get something out of a bottle before anything else. I don't really go to bars as much as I would like to.
I don't go to bars either, but I've been a few times.
Well, I do love myself. There's this brand called One Tree, and they make an amazing huckleberry cider. And I can drink a whole bottle of that, and it basically makes me the perfect amounts of drunk. Not to the point where I'm getting a headache or a hangover, but I still feel that intense buzz. If I had to make myself a drink, I would probably go along the cider sides of things. Maybe like a mixture of like a watermelon or grape. I don't know if that sounds good together.
Sounds like it could be good.
Since the inside of my
Grape.
mouth is green and red, I always joke that that's the flavor that you would get if you kissed me. So.
Yeah, you look very grape.
Yeah, I mean, let's not go along the direct poison flavor. We can only imagine what a poison dart frog tastes like, and you get to taste it once before you die. So,
Next stream idea: tasting a poison dart frog.
oh god. I mean, the ones that you can legally, not illegally. I almost said illegally. The ones that you can legally obtain, I don't think can kill you. So.
Final stream.
All right, everybody, this is it. This is the magnum opus of my whole career.
You'd be like talked about everywhere after that, though.
Oh goodness. You know what? TOS wise, if you weren't going to eat the frog, or if you're just gonna lick it and get its hallucinogenic effects, it might technically be against TOS because of the nature of drug use.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like anything dealing with this would definitely be against TOS. But like, it's your last stream, so like.
Yeah, go about with a bang.
Hypothetically, I don't actually want anyone to do that. That sounds terrible.
Oh goodness! You know what? If I do have this in the server, the section for the hypothetical theoretical. If you want to put that down of what would happen hypothetically theoretically as a question to ask for a future, I would love to ask that question.
Yeah, I think interesting like hypothetical would be like. I think actually interesting question is like, what would you do for like your last stream? Like, what do you think? Like, if you had to like make like a definitive last stream on Twitch, like, what would it be?
Ooh, yes. I'm gonna add that to your. I'm gonna tack that on. I'll ask a double question for the next person.
Oh, that's a really good question.
Beyblade tournament. If you live, it's against TOS for drugs, and if you die, it's against TOS because you died live. Yeah, you can't win.
True.
Oh, pardon me. All right, Nixie, my last question for you. Who would you like to raid?
I have a friend who is a small VTuber. Their name's Ashley Hollows. I'd want to raid them.
Perfect. If you could send that to me, that would be a great help because...
Yes.
Perfect. You know me and my inability to type things properly. Well, Nixie,
Can I just link you to their page?
Oh yeah, go right
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah, I'll pull them up so I can get out of the that first ad. There we go.
Yeah, show Ashley some love.
All right.
They're very
Thank you.
fun.
Thank you, Nixie, for being on with me today. I appreciate you being here and taking the time out of your day just for me to ask you some silly questions.
Thank you for having me. This was really fun.
Yes, and again, I apologize for some of the scuff that happened, but we make scuff work. If I'm the royalty over anything, I'm the royalty over scuff. So
No, I get it. That's just being a streamer. Is just your ability to deal with impromptu scuff.
Oh yes, and your attitude towards it too.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way towards what we were talking about at the beginning with like what you like to see in a streamer.
Yeah, a
I'd
lot of people
say.
get frustrated on stream about it, and I'm like, oh, don't get frustrated. Like, just joke about it. It's scuff. Every streamer has scuff.
Yeah, yeah. Laugh with it. I mean, look
Yeah,
at me.
yeah.
I'm a literal gremlin right now, for Christ's sake.
It's pretty funny.
Well, as I set up this raid, here's the raid message. Nixie, do you have any parting words of wisdom for chat this evening?
You know, if something is bothering you in the back of your mind or something that you know in the end that you just can't really control, like you just gotta like something you have to do tomorrow or something you're like worrying about that's a little unnecessary, like just try to not sweat the small stuff, you know? Just try not to get upset about things you can't control. And just do it. Just take it head on.
Yeah, roll with the punches and
Roll with the punches, go with the flow.
yeah. There will always be the next day. You know, you always have time to make it work.
Stuff always gets better.
Oh yes.
Always. There will never not be something that happens that won't get better.
And there's this. Perfect. And if you all haven't yet, make sure that you go ahead and follow Nixie. Nixie, when are you streaming next, by the way?
So right now I don't really have like this week I don't really have a schedule up, but I post my schedules on Sundays usually for like the week going forward, but I've been very wishy-washy this week with my streams. So I definitely will post on my Twitter when I stream next. It'll probably be within the next couple days. I'm kind of busy until Saturday, so my next stream will probably be Saturday. But follow me on Twitter so you can see when my schedules go up. And yeah.
There you go. There's the Twitter right there. And
follow me on Twitch as well. You get the notification.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you all don't, I will come for your legs and rip them off. I don't know. All right,
Threats, the best kind of persuasion.
Oh yeah, that's how you do it. This is how you get people to like you, right?
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a great night, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
All right, we oh, I'm